I guess next up, let's talk about this scarf. Basically, my fiance's dad ended up getting it for me. Sorry if the mic's getting messed up. I don't think I'm gonna tie it on, but I don't know why I did that. But regardless, it's this handmade scarf locally in the area we live in, and I believe it's like rayon and cotton. I've had like a lot of scarves from like Our Legacy and like various brands, and I'm gonna be honest, like I think because of the material, the rayon, this like is without a doubt like my favorite scarf I own, just because it like flows like exactly how I want it to. The other scarves I have are like wool and whatnot, and they keep you warm, but they just don't have that, I don't know, I guess the aesthetic I'm looking for. But yeah, very thankful for this, and it's gonna be with me probably for the rest of my life as well. Next up, we're just gonna talk about like sweaters basically that I've gotten over the past few months as well. So I feel like I just started to notice, well, I have like this Stussy sweater, this 100% cotton sweater that's like my favorite sweater probably. It just fits me perfectly. Like that's like another one of those items where I'd say like, that's like a Robbie item. Like it's synonymous, I feel like, with my personal style. Like I wear it all the time. And it's 100% cotton, and I wanted to get, they had like one other colorway, but it's like, some of these like niche Stussy items for each season like are impossible to find on the secondhand market. So I just kind of went like down a rabbit hole like during the holiday season, maybe like fall to the holiday season, of getting like cotton sweaters on eBay. And I got this one. This was like the first one basically that set it off for me. This is like a random vintage sweater. And I really love like the Henley details, and you're gonna see I love it a lot because I have like another sweater just like this. But blue, as I said, is my favorite color. This is probably like my favorite one that I picked up. It's 100% cotton, just fits me perfectly. This is probably like another one of those Robbie items, as I keep saying, synonymous with me, but I digress. And this one, another Henley, 100% cotton. This is from LL Bean actually, and it's made in the USA. And LL Bean, like especially in the vintage market, is like probably one of my favorite brands as well. Just because like for the price points, like made in USA, like if you're actually like eyeing eBay, you can get like amazing deals. And this jacket, like they don't, or this jacket, this sweater, they don't even make stuff like this anymore, like for reasonable prices, like 100% cotton. This thing like is built like a tank still, so like you could throw it in the washer dry, like no problem. You don't have to worry about shrinkage. Something like this, like, I mean, you won't find it made in the USA anymore. It'll probably be made overseas, but it's gonna be like cheap quality if I'm being honest, not hard wearing. And it's just not something I'm really into. You could get these for like, if you're really looking, like 10 to 30 bucks. Which is like unbeatable for 100% cotton, in my opinion. Next up, I'll leave that one for last. Along with the vintage LL Bean kick I've been on, I got this, it looks pink kind of, but it's like actually red, it's just very faded. This is an LL Bean sweater, also made in the USA. This one I think was like a little bit more expensive, maybe like 30, 40 bucks. But this is like one of my favorite sweaters just because I kind of like got inspired by Oral-Lee's like most recent runway, where they basically like intentionally were layering with like contrasting colors, like color combinations you wouldn't expect. So like one of my favorite ways to wear this was like, I have an Oral-Lee sweater that's like this green corduroy, and basically just to wear this underneath and just give that like little pop of color. I think it personally looks amazing. But yeah, made in the USA, like 30, 40 bucks. Sweater like this, probably 100 plus to 200 plus, made in the USA, if you can even find something like that anymore. If you want to see how like I wear a lot of these items as well, if I don't have like enough B-roll, definitely check out my Instagram and TikTok. Like I definitely post more often on there. I want to be better on YouTube, like in terms of consistency, but it's just easier, I feel like, for me to just get like quick videos out on social media. But regardless, next pickup. This was a birthday present from my brother and my friend. I think I had sent them like the latest Stussy drop or something, and I was like, oh, look at this wool sweater, like this is really cool. Just like, you know, because sometimes you send pieces to your friends, be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? At least I do. I don't know if you guys do as well. But I think personally I liked the blue one more because there was like two colorways. But I actually am kind of like more appreciative that I got this black one, just because it's gonna be more wearable realistically. Like the blue one is cool, but I already have that blue cotton sweater that I wear a ton, so it's like, do I really need to double dip, if you feel me? But there's 100% wool. Quality is pretty good. I mean, Stussy quality can be hit or miss in my opinion. But yeah, love this sweater. Very thankful. Next one, probably like my favorite sweater I own, to be honest, at least for the moment. You know, when you get like new item bias, I guess. I don't know if that's the term for it, but I got this in Kichijoji, I believe. Yeah, Kichijoji in Tokyo. We were on our way to this like jazz bar. If anybody plays Persona, basically Kichijoji got added in Persona 5 Royal, and like a lot of like the places you can go to in the game are like inspired by literal places in Kichijoji. So I believe the place is called Sometime Piano Hall. It's like a jazz bar, but really cool vibe, like very intimate, I guess I'd say. Very like you sit very close to each other's, like, or to different groups of people is what I'm trying to say, which is like a lot of Japan, I guess, because everything's super tiny over there. But regardless, really cool vibe. Like you walk down this staircase. If you want to see footage of that, like it's in my previous video. But regardless, pretty good food. We got like a pizza, drinks. I think we got like a strawberry shortcake or something. But yeah, really cool vibe. If you have the opportunity, definitely recommend. But yeah, and they had a beam store. Literally, like that's the coolest thing about Japan as well. I'm just gonna keep glazing Japan. I don't even care, because I mean, it literally was like an amazing experience. I can't speak for, you know, people that obviously are residents there. I'm sure it's a different story, but like from a tourist aspect, it was amazing. Literally, you'll just be walking on the way to doing something, and you'll end up stumbling upon like 5 other things that interest you, and you had no idea, like whether it be shopping or like a restaurant or like just like home goods or whatnot. But we were like literally out of the station, and as soon as we exit, like out of like, you know, paying with the Suica card, there's just a beam store right there, and it was like the first one we just like ran into. But I ended up going in there, and I tried on a couple items. There was like this North Face purple label jacket that was cool, but it didn't really feel like something I wanted to like. I don't know. It just didn't feel like my personal style really. It was a cool jacket. That was like a Harrington jacket, but I saw this sweater, and blue is my favorite color, as I've said many times. And this ended up being like one of my most worn sweaters out there, especially like it was just cozy, like on the plane ride home. And also like when we got stuck in Honolulu, like it's 100% cotton, and it's like very breathable because it's like a mesh knit. So it was super comfortable even in like tropical weather. But one of my favorite pickups, Beams sweater. I guess next, this technically isn't like Japan or before Japan. I guess kinda it is, but essentially during the holiday season, we did a white elephant gift exchange, and one of the gifts that I ended up getting was this, like, I believe it's called Malene and Goats. If I'm butchering the name, so be it. I got like a little sampler set of fragrances, and I feel like I have a lot of fragrances, but only like a few of them, because I've gotten some as gifts and whatnot, and I like the scents, but I feel like if you're also into fragrances, you kind of realize like there's only like a few that like you really, really gravitate towards. And I got this sampler set, and a lot of them were really good, but for whatever reason, like I kept thinking about this scent by them, and it's Vetiver, however you pronounce it. Sorry to the fragrance community if I'm butchering it, but regardless, I ended up getting this for myself as like a last minute birthday present. But yeah, it smells amazing. Like this is probably like my favorite scent at the moment. I know that's like recency bias, whatever, but genuinely, like it's one of my favorite scents. And I've tried a lot of fragrances. I like a lot of fragrances, but you kind of realize like you can like something, but you don't want, especially with fragrances, you can like a fragrance, but then you like having it on your body for hours, you kind of grow tired of it. Like I had the Tyler Creator like Golf Le Fleur French Waltz fragrance, and that fragrance is actually like amazing. Like it's genuinely amazing, but it's like such a sweet smell, and it's like so strong that it's like cool, but it didn't feel like me personally. I'm digressing, but regardless, fragrance. Next, we're just going to talk about a bunch of footwear, and then we're basically done. First off, I sold like a ton of clothes, sure, but I sold a ton of like boots, just because I realized like I liked a lot of the boots I had, but they just, I don't know. I'm more like utilitarian when it comes to a lot of clothes nowadays. So if it doesn't feel like something I can just like wear and beat into the ground, which I guess you can technically do, but like some of the boots I had just felt like they were too, I don't want to say delicate, but I was just too precious with them. Like I felt like wrong in like wearing them into the ground. I don't know. That's just how I thought. But regardless, it's funny because when I first got into boots, I never really gravitated to Red Wings for whatever reason. Like I always knew about them, but I just never really like pulled the trigger on them. I think just because they were like certain aesthetics, like I really wanted like, I was originally really into Viberg boots, even though they're like the upper echelon of boots. Like unless you can find them secondhand, they're so expensive. Like I don't even know how much they go for anymore, because I'm not really worried about boots like that anymore. But I'm digressing as I keep doing this whole video, but we're just keeping it with the flow. Regardless, this is the pair that really set it off for me. These are Red Wing Blacksmiths. I forgot the exact style code, but they're the copper rough and tough. They actually don't look like it right now because I wore these all over Japan. Like this was literally like my, I don't know, like my probably most worn shoe out there, just because I wasn't really precious with them. Like that's like the best thing about Red Wings. Like you don't really have to be precious with them because they're so like well made that you can just like beat them into the ground and they look even better. But basically I cleaned them like when I got home, just because I wore them through like rain and mud and whatnot. And that's actually really bad for leather boots. Kind of like denim. If you just like dirt get into the fibers, it can basically erode them over time and make them wear out faster. Regardless, I polished them, so they kind of look like Briar Oil Slick right now, but they are definitely copper rough and tough. I just have to wear them again. But I, really haven't been able to because just got back home from vacation. But probably like my favorite boot of all time, if I'm being honest. Like I definitely probably will get another pair of Blacksmiths one day. But I already have like so many boots at this point. I really don't need any more boots, even though, I'm going to show you a bunch of boots and I want more boots, but I feel like boots are like my favorite clothing item besides like jeans maybe. So no, I take that back. Boots and jackets are my favorite clothing items. So like, I just have a surplus of them, just cause like I gravitate towards them. But I definitely have to dial it back and, just wear the items and appreciate the items I have, just cause they get better with age. And wear, so I digress. Next boot. This is kind of like the epitome of like Red Wing. If you're into Red Wing boots, this is like, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Piece de resistance of Red Wings? I don't know. That's probably not the term I'd use, but this is like the boot for like Red Wing enthusiasts. This is the 9060. The flat box Beckman. So it's kind of similar to Blacksmith, but except for the fact that, so I'm just gonna put this down. Except for the fact that it has leather midsole, which I guess like I forgot who said it. Somebody that works for Red Wing said that they technically wasn't a midsole, but it definitely is. It also has like a thicker heel and whatnot. But the thing that really sets it apart is first off the leather. So this is black Klondike leather from Red Wing. So it's a T-core leather. So I've worn these a ton. I know that T-core takes a long time to develop, but there's only like a few areas where like T-core is really showing through. Essentially what it is this is black leather, it's not black leather. It's brown leather with like a black finish. So as you wear this, like brown is eventually gonna peek through as you like, rub off the exterior paint or whatnot. And so they get like a very vintage look, which I'm like super hyped when that eventually happens. This is probably like my second most worn boot out in Japan, except for maybe like one other one that I'm going to show. They're just super comfortable because that leather midsole, like you think it wouldn't add a lot of comfort, but they were so comfortable. After you walk like 25,000 steps a day, like you appreciate that. I know, most people say, why don't you just wear like more comfortable shoes? I packed a pair of New Balances and I definitely wore those a lot, but I just like boots, man. Like it's just my personal style. I love wearing boots. I feel the most comfortable in boots. But yeah, I can't wait to wear these in more. And I I mean, they're going to look amazing with age. They're also called the Flatbox Beckman. I didn't mention it because unlike the blacksmiths, they basically don't have like any material right here. I have a shoe tree in them to maintain their shape, but if there wasn't a shoe tree, like they'd basically collapse on themselves. They're really soft and malleable, but one of the best boots of all time. And I got these in the States before like the holiday season, but this model is actually kind of hard to get because except for like a few retailers in the United States, they are basically like a Japan exclusive model. So you have to go to Japan in order to get these for the most part. But yeah, amazing boot. All right, next pair of boots. I've been eyeballing this model for like past 6 months now, anticipating going to Japan. These were actually a birthday present from my fiance, so I'm super grateful. This is another like very famous model by Red Wing. These are basically, I believe, what is the 8167, I think is the style code. But essentially these are round toe boots, as you can see. And the round toe boot for like Red Wing enthusiasts or people that don't know is pretty hard to get. I don't think they really, I'm pretty sure they don't make them anymore. There's like talks of them bringing them back later this year. But this boot, like you can't get in the US, like this model, like not just this colorway, like this is exclusive to Japan, but I think honestly round toes in general, now that I think about it, they're all exclusive to Japan. So I went in there knowing I wanted this boot and I'm very thankful I got it as a birthday present. They're just comfortable. Like it's, as you can see, like round toe, hence the name. But I did try wearing these out there and they definitely fucked up my feet. Like I got a blister just because the material, the way it was like wearing, like creating a pressure point, but that's my fault because, you know, I was trying to wear new boots on vacation. That's my fault. But for the most part, they're super comfortable, but you just have to break them in, obviously. All my friends keep saying like these are like the Yaris or whatever that you call Tims, which I guess I could kind of see the similarities. I had Tims like in high school, so I guess it's like history repeating itself if you really think about it. But love this boot. It's basically not dyed at all. So there's like, I think it's called like Hawthorne Abilene leather, from what I remember. So basically all the dirt and grime, even though it sounds gross, like it basically patinas the leather as you wear it. Like there's some dirt, not a ton because I just haven't worn it much yet, but I'm interested to see how this is gonna wear over like years of my life, just because I don't really want to baby this boot. I want to see what it'll look like, you know? But yeah. All right, next up. If you watched my previous video, you already saw kind of like a sneak peek of these. Basically, while in Kyoto, kind of touching on what I said earlier with like the secondhand market, we were kind of just exploring like our first day right after getting off the train, and we ended up getting like ice cream from this place, I can't remember what it's called, but I guess it's famous. I have a friend that lives in Okinawa, and he was like telling me about, like he was messaging me about it. He was like, "Oh, you tried this ice cream?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like this, what was the name of the flavor? I don't know. It was like blue dyed, and I don't know, something about like foods when they look a color that's like, I don't know, just overstimulating like that. It just makes me want to eat them. Like, you know, the whole like red 40, and I don't know, but I guess if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. But regardless, I went to literally a store that was like diagonally across. Like I just saw it and I was like, I wonder what's in there. It was called, I believe, ID Kyoto. Walked in there, cool shop, no clothes that like I really was like gravitating towards. I was just like browsing. But then I'm like walking kind of like on the way out to the door, and I looked like towards like the ground, and he had these harness boots just sitting there. And I was like, oh, those are sick. And I had these Balenciaga boots basically like 5 or 6 years ago. They were harness boots, if you remember those, like brown suede ones. And I sold them, and I kind of regretted it just because of the aesthetic, which I really liked. But so I was kind of like saw these and drawn to them just for that, because like kind of trying to replace that in my wardrobe, those sort of aesthetic. But they're these D squared boots, and I basically asked the owner, I was like, "What time do you guys close?" Because I wanted to think about it. I want to impulse purchase, and he's like 8 o'clock, and it was like 7:15 at that point. So I was like, so I went to go get ice cream and then kind of thought about it, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go get the boots. So I went back in, I was like, hey, can I get them? And he's just laughing. He's like, you came back already? So I went to get them, and originally they had like a leather sole, but literally like 2 or 3 doors down, there was a cobbler, sorry. And I basically got these like Vibram sole protectors put on literally, and it took like maybe a day. I picked them up the next day, but amazing D-squared harness boots. And then finally, this is like the one thing, like when I went to Japan, like I knew I wanted to buy. Like I've been eyeing this style of boot for a while. I had some in the past, but they were just, they were like, let me just show them first and I'll get into it. I ended up getting some engineer boots out there. And this is like one of my favorite like silhouettes of all time. Like I had basically these Red Wing boots that I got from like Yahoo auctions, like during the pandemic era. And they ended up having a steel toe and they were just kind of uncomfortable to wear. So I ended up letting them go and I regretted it only because like I love the aesthetic. But I originally wanted some boots from the brand Attractions for anybody that's into like engineer boots. And I went there, a funny story basically. I went to the store, like they had literally just restocked the boots, but this brand has such a cult following that I was like asking like the staff, I was like, do you have them? And the guy was so funny. He was like, no, like they're like sold out basically. He was like a really funny dude, but they ended up having, because originally I wanted a horsehide pair. But that was sold out. So I was like, can I try on the steer hide pair that they had? And they had size 10, I believe. But they ended up just having, they were just like, there's too much heel slippage, which there's no laces. So you don't want any heel slippage in an engineer boot. So I ended up trying, I think they didn't have a 9.5, which probably would have fit perfectly. I ended up trying a 9, but the instep of my right foot is just like, my right foot is bigger than my left foot. So it just wasn't going to work. So I ended up like having to leave, and I was like, the next day I was like, I'm going to find some engineer boots. Like that's what I came to Japan to specifically get. So I had like a plan B already in mind. I ended up going to a place called Addict Clothing. That's in kind of outside of like Tokyo. And basically I went there and I wanted an all black pair originally, but I ended up seeing like this pair with sort of the two-tone, the brown leather. And they ended up having my size, and these are a size 10, but that just goes to show like why Japan is so cool, because you get to try on all these clothes you normally would never be able to. At least in my experience, because I feel like that's like the hardest part of online shopping. Like you can have your measurements and everything down, but like you don't really know how it's going to fit until you get it in person. And I feel like sometimes like 50-50, either you'll love it or you hate it. That's just my experience, even with measurements involved. But regardless, I was able to try these on. These are size 10 and they fit literally like a glove. Like they fit perfectly right up the jump. So I was like, there's a sign. So I purchased them right there. And I wore them a ton actually in Japan, just because like, I mean, I wanted them for so long. They're also T-core leather. I feel like you can kind of see it on the back. Maybe not because I'm not close enough, but I forgot which, oh, this one. I scuffed it a little bit so you can kind of see the brown coming out. But this is going to be like in my wardrobe as well, like, you know, for the rest of my life. They're already like, they were already super soft from the jump, but because I wore them, they're like slowly molding. I have like shoe trees and like, you know, cardboard in here to maintain the shape, but they actually are like literally the most comfortable boot I own. I don't know how they do it. Like this boot looks like big and heavy. They're actually surprisingly lightweight. Like I don't know how they do it, but they're like super comfortable. This was like my most comfortable boot I own now, and I can't wait to see how it ages. And they actually, like I said, they like fit like a glove, but they kind of loosen as you wear them. So after I've worn them for like a few more months, they actually give you an insole as well to make it more comfortable and also fit better. But yeah, last pickup, Addict boots. But thank you guys if you made it to the end of the video, and you know, I'm just appreciative if you're still here, still subscribed, still watching. And if you didn't see my previous video, please check that out. I feel like this video is going to be very long, so I might have to break it into 2 parts. So I guess if you're here from the first part, or if you're here finishing the second part, thank you, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Bye.